Welcome back. Let's find out if we got anything wrong so far. For that, we go to TV's Andy Levy. So, Andy, what's the story?
Well, before I get to the stories, Greg, in introing Paul, you said that, quote, like the Great Wall of China, you can see his lips from space.
Yes.
Actually, unlike Paul's lips, it's a myth that you can see the Great Wall from space.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, at least we know something's true.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, Paul, were you aware that March 16th is Lips Appreciation Day?
I did not know that.
This is true.
Yeah.
I am not making this up. It was started by a company called Wellcat Herbs, a maker of herbal products. Mm-hmm. They claim responsibility for it, and they use it as a promotional vehicle for their products, in this case, herbal lip balms.
Wow.
Wow.
Thank you. I'm going to ruin you later with these
So
lips.
I hope you took the day off at least. I hope you at least took the day off or something, Paul, or treated yourself to something nice.
Why didn't you become a lip model?
You know, I could.
You know what? You're right. You could.
I love this smile.
I never made Andy laugh before. I could die now.
I was laughing at what Greg said. Also, I guess we should have announced before the show that Paul Mercurio will be playing the role of Jesse Joyce on tonight's show.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That was smart. I love Dana.
Gregalog, Red Dawn changes bad guys from Chinese North Korea. Clearly, this remake is not going to be anywhere near as realistic as the original. Yeah. This is killing me. Greg, you said you've seen the original 13 times, mainly because you're a huge fan of C. Thomas Howell?
Yes.
Yeah. You'll be happy to know that Howell has a part in the upcoming Spider-Man reboot as a character named Ray Cooper. He says it's not a major role, but it is a poignant, important role.
Yeah. He's on that cop show, too, where he plays a cop.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know the one.
Yeah.
He wears a cop uniform.
Southland or something?
Southland, yeah, it's really serious.
Yeah.
Kind of too serious for me. I like fun, funny cop shows.
I know you do. I know you. Yeah, Police Squad was more your thing.
Yeah. That was
I did a little digging, by the way, about this Ray Cooper thing. The Marvel Wiki mentions that Ray Cooper, who was a respected police detective and the father of police forensics specialist Carly Cooper.
Ah,
Yeah.
Wow.
For more on this, go to my blog, I'mAHugeDork.com.
yes.
Yeah. Dana, here's my question about this whole thing. If it's such a big deal, the China thing, how come nobody thought of it before they made the movie?
You mean with MGM?
Yeah.
I think that the process by which culture is made in this country is, there's so many moving pieces that sometimes nobody realizes what direction they're moving in until some later point.
Okay. I'm not sure I buy that.
It was good. I mean,
No, it sounded good.
Yeah.
No, it sounded good. Yeah.
Whatever it said, it gave me a headache.
I get points for exexecution.
That
Oh,
was-
absolutely. Absolutely.
Cool.
That was like making an omelet without eggs. That was
Absolutely.
incredible.
Yeah. Greg, you said it's actually insulting to the Chinese to assume that they'll be insulted by a fictional movie.
Yes.
As the LA Times points out, studios face temporary halts in their business dealings with China after movies like 7 Years in Tibet and Red Corner.
Ah.
So this has happened before.
Well, I guess I stand corrected.
I guess
And
you
if you're going to waste a lot of cash upsetting China, 7 years in Tibet,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
at least do something watchable.
Yeah, that is very true.
Yep.
I loved Red Shoes. That was good.
Oh.
By the way, is it okay to say that the original Red Dawn not that good?
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh!
I agree with you.
Disagree.
Oh, you're right.
That's a classic.
No, it's not.
Kids
It's a
out there,
terrible
watch the
movie.
original.
It's
That's
really-
a great movie.
Scene where he touches his dad's hand through the
Really
tree.
not that good.
it's-
Really
There's
not
a
that
little
good.
part of me died.
I want to point out that there has never been a bad movie made by Powers Booth.
That's very true.
I do love me some Powers Booth. I will
Powers
say that.
Booth is the most underrated
Yeah.
actor on
No,
the
he's
planet.
excellent. Yep.
He can talk for days without moving his mouth.
He really
Notice
can.
that?
Wolverines.
Paul, you said of being between Greg and Dana, quote, I feel like I'm in a gay sandwich right now. Mm-hmm. But of course, the sandwich is named after what's in between.
So you're in a
Again,
lips
I'm
sandwich.
going to ruin you
So
with these
you-
lips later.
Make of that what you will. Postal workers, Greg, you said the Postal Service expects to lose about $7 billion this year because of declining mail volume and also a bad Super Bowl bet, and you said if only Green Bay had covered the spread.
Yes.
Green Bay did cover the spread.
Oh, okay.
Well, then it's only $6 billion in debt.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good news. Thanks.
Yeah. Jill, can we just agree that whatever makes postal workers happy is a good thing?
Okay. Sure. How about the customer is always right? How about
Yes.
just give me the book of stamps and
The
smile?
customers,
Yeah, you don't have to throw them at me and glare.
the customers don't tend to be the ones that go, postal.
You know, that's an unfair comment, Andy.
Is it? They call it going postal. I didn't make up that term.
I know.
Okay.
Actually, your outfit is vaguely postal today. You look like a very going to a ball, a postman's ball.
I'm going to a postman's
It's
ball.
like if the Grimace were a postman.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Paul, why are you blaming your postman for the fact that you don't get any mail rather than the fact that you lead a friendless existence?
Wow.
I don't need an answer to that, actually. I'm just going to move on.
That made somebody laugh so hard, spit flew across the table.
I'm just going to move on. Fourth Amendment guy. Jill, was that you who kept saying "ooh" while the picture of this guy was on the screen?
I think it was Bill.
I couldn't tell. That's why.
Yeah, that lady that was Bill.
Jill's got a much more mellow bass.
Yeah, she does.
Whoa,
yeah.
hubba, hubba.
Greg, you referred to Aaron Toby's lawyer as the punk's attorney. Wouldn't it be great if his name was Phil?
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, so
I know.
it's kind of a waste of a question.
Still, though, the punk's attorney Phil sounds good. Paul, that bit where you had stuff written on your chest went really well. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
When a prop gag doesn't work, you don't go through with it. Like it was all smeared on your chest.
Well, but the upside is he ruined a perfectly nice shirt.
I did ruin my shirt. It's Dana's fault because he brought it up, and then I had to show someone because people are going to be like, "What's going on?"
Because originally your plan was to write that on your chest and not show it.
What? Say that again?
Your original plan was to write that stuff on your shirt and not show it,
No,
and
I
then
wrote
Dana
it on my
forced you to show
shirt,
it.
and then in the car ride over, it's smeared on my chest. It's smeared on my shirt. My wife wrote it, and now it's.
You need to go to. You need to see Carrot Top, and he can talk you.
My
through
wife
this.
actually said, "Isn't this something Carrot Top would do?" And I said, "Yes, that's why I'm
except
doing
his would be good.
Yeah, his would be good.
You're like Carrot Bottom.
it." Why do I wake up in the morning?
All right, I gotta move on to Libya. Dana, you said Bush rehabilitated Gaddafi in exchange for a good news cycle. Well, that and him turning over WMDs, right?
Did he have them?
Yes.
Which ones?
That was the whole point. The ones that he no longer has. That's the extent of
But
my
was
knowledge.
it? Hang on. He didn't have like a. Did he shut down some embryo nuclear program?
He did. He turned over some stuff. I don't have the answer to that.
If you want to unbuds, you got to bring it harder than that.
It's a fair point. It's a fair point, Dana. But the fact still remains that I did correct your ass.
Andy, you forgot to ask who Dana's looking at.
I can't.
Who's there he is.
You want me to
There he
smear my
is.
chest lipstick on him?
And Dana, just to go out on a serious note, here's my question. Regardless of what happens, we're always the bad guys, right? If we go in, we're the colonial imperialists, and if we don't, we're heartless. And either way, the Wahhabists and the jihadists twist whatever we do to fit their own message, and then there's more terrorists, right?
There is a considerable amount of static involved in empire. That is true.
Yeah. All right. But you're okay with that?
I mean, that's not our fault. I think that America is a force for good in the world, and that the 20th century is far better for us. And I'll make that argument everywhere.
But all these people, all these people in the Middle East, whenever we do anything in the Middle East, accuse us of trying to colonialize it and or colonize it, whatever, and do all of that stuff. And then when we don't go in, they sit there and they go, well, where's America?
Well, which people?
Those people.
I mean, do you mean like the people
Andy.
the people who voted in the Arab League and asked us to set up a no-fly zone?
No,
I
I'm
would
talking
think that they
about
would
the
have a hard
Arab.
time
I'm talking about
talking
the
later.
Arab Street, as a term I like to use.
The Arab Street is wondering where we are in Libya.
Not all of them.
I don't think that our
Not all of
motivations
them.
in Iraq were entirely holy. So if somebody questions them, I'll be right there with them questioning them. I think that Libya is a pretty clear case for a real humanitarian mission to stop what will be a disaster in Benghazi if he gets there.
I'd like to see the other Arab countries step up for once.
He has used the word cleansing.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And there's a great argument to be made of, where is Egypt in all of this? This is a neighboring.
Where is Saudi Arabia? They've got an air force.
That's valid.
We sell them we sell them their planes.
It's valid.
And also, you have to wonder.
But the Saudis have no interest in seeing democracy spread because that'll be the end
I
of
agree.
them. Yeah.
Right. I agree.
So we have some bad friends.
Yes.
Oh,
All right.
tell me about
Apparently,
it.
I have to go.
I have a message written on my lower back if you want to see it.
It's more like
it's henna.
It's more like a tramp stamp. Hey, can I just make this last point before we move on? We've spent the last 2 years being told how people hate us so much.
Right.
This is born out of that. We have to stop caring about what other countries think about us.
Well,
if we look like bad guys because we killed Gaddafi, who cares?
Well, but this is after 8 years of being told that Bush acted unilaterally and was a jerk for it. Obama's doing the exact opposite. He's waiting for the UN.
Yeah.
He's doing what I read for 8 years we were supposed to be doing.
Can we at least sanction his Jerry curl?
Yeah.
That would upset him. If he cannot get his soul glow, Greg, that's a step.
That is a good point. Yeah.
All right.
We got to go.
Move along.
Andy, move away from that screen. All right, coming up, what's it like to eat a rare panda in one sitting? Well, Jill Dobson tells us about her trip to the zoo. But first, you still have it in your teeth. Need to floss the panda, Jill. What's so great about this big ball of burgundy? Well, if I have to
Yummy.
tell you, then we're so not going boating this weekend. Some are calling it the greatest theory of all time, that I am descended from a magical unicorn, but also that time travel is possible. Yet physicists from Vanderbilt University have proposed using the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland as a time machine. Here's how it would work. First, they used the collider to create a hypothetical particle called the Higgs singlet. Used to wear that when I swam. They believe this particle can jump out of the normal 4 dimensions of space and time and into a theorized hidden dimension. From there, it would re-enter ours somewhere in the past or present, and then, of course, make me an awesome burrito, because that's what I would make it do. Let's discuss this in our
Lightning round. Lightning round.
Dana, scientists say it could be used to send messages to the past or future. What kind of message would you like to receive when you were younger?
I would like to. There's some women in my life who are wonderful, and I screwed things up. I'd want to take back all the words that hurt them,
Oh, that's pleasant.
and they'd stay.
Oh.
You're hoping they're watching right now.
Wow, sounds very
nice.
Cher-like.
Is this
Yeah, very
Lifetime
Cher-
television?
Cher-like.
Hey, Paul, much of your clothing comes from the past. So wouldn't it be fun to go back and hang out with them when they were cool once?
Hang on, I have a message for you. Here it is. Look, the accused shall have a right to a speedy trial.
It looks like you have a rash.
That's exactly what he said. Listen, why? You know, I read this story and I tried to listen to you, and the people that came up with this is so dull, and they're the ones that are going to get to go back in time first.
Yeah.
But to me, someone interesting. I want to go back and bang Cleopatra. They're going to go back to his 1978 tax seminar. That's all they're going to do.
I love how you think that when you go back in time, it's going to be really easy for you to get access to Cleopatra. Check out these lips, lady. No, I'm sorry, you're a slave.
Feed him to the asps.
Why? Because I'm Italian? That's racist.
Yes, of course it is. But, no, I'm telling you, everybody assumes when they go back in time, all of a sudden they're going to be partying with Thomas Jefferson. No, you're going to be beaten to death by a horde of sloppy
They
people.
don't want time travel. They want to be part of a different social class.
Exactly. They have their friends suck in 2011, but they think if they go back to the 1600s, they'll be the belle of the ball.
Totally score with Marilyn Monroe, man. JFK's got nothing on me.
Jill, Pat, where would you rather go, the past or the future?
I think I'd split the difference and go back to the future.
Oh.
I like that sexy look. Look at that.
Hey, Bill, if you could send a message to your future self right before you overdose, what would it be? Don't do the 8-ball all at once?
That's not half laxatives. That's probably what I'd tell him.
Yes.
You accidentally got some really good crap.
Don't tip in your...
Your dealer misrecognized you for someone who had money, and that's really potent stuff.
All right. We couldn't even get to the second or the third story, but maybe we'll do that in the next segment. We're going to take a break. Up next, something fun for you and me, but not you over there in Cleveland. So in China, a red Tibetan Mastiff, is that how you say it?
Mastiff.
Mastiff, I don't know, and frankly, I don't care. It's a stupid story. Anyway, this Tibetan puppy, it's kind of adorable, has been sold for over $1.5 million, making it the world's most expensive dog. Apparently, in recent years, the rare breed has become a status symbol of China's wealthiest residents. Dana, how many of these dogs do you have, and what do you do with them?
I was never allowed to have a dog because I'm not responsible enough.
Really?
That's why you're emotionally
That was
closed
the
off.
that was the prohibition. That was the prohibition.
That your parents wouldn't let you have a dog because they thought you'd like strangle it or something?
Yeah, I think that actually both of them through their childhoods had very dark experiences with dogs.
Yes.
Which I'll adopt as fiction in my next novel.
Fantastic.
So there were no dogs in our house.
Wow. Jill, wouldn't the expectations be really high for that poor dog?
Yeah.
It's so expensive. He must have terrible anxiety knowing he's worth so much.
That's what I say. Unless that dog has a thriving law practice, there's no way he's worth it.
Yeah.
No way.
It's so true. I didn't look at Paul. Does it bother you that this dog leads a better life than you? And you have to admit, he has a better coat.
Whoa. Well, look at you're so proud of yourself. Could you?
Tickle me.
I mean, this is a Chinese coal baron paid $1.5 million for this dog, the most expensive lunch ever.
Terrible.
Bring it.
I can
Bring it.
condemn that.
Bill, $1.5 million, that could buy a lot of $500,000 paintings.
Yes, it sure can. And look what they wasted on something. That is not going to last as long as art, Greg.
No, it's
Although
not.
if you let it sit there for a while after it's dyed, it will start to resemble some art. Perhaps a like Cubist period.
You know what's interesting about this story? And let me tell you what it is. The fact that a dog can be worth $1.5 million and have no knowledge that it's any different than like a homeless dog.
You know what I'd like to do?
Once, one of your greatest lines was that a homeless dog does not think it's owned by a homeless man.
Well, I don't know if that was me.
But by an explorer.
Oh, an explorer? Did I say that? I don't know if I said that, but I might have thought of that.
You know what I'd like to do that dog? I'd like to shave it poodle style and jump it into one of... This makes me angry.
No.
I hate that dog.
You can't say things like that. We're going to close things out with the post-game wrap-up from TV's Andy Levy. And to see clips of recent shows, go to foxnews.com/redeye. Look, there's me. I'm looking pretty hot there, I must say. Another reminder, Bill, Andy, and I will be hosting the John Gibson Show. Check us out Thursday at noon Eastern Time on Fox News Radio, or listen on your computer at radio.foxnews.com. Again, that's Thursday at noon, and be sure and call in, because we're going to take a lot of callers, all three of us. Call. Coming up tomorrow on the next Red Eye, Andrea Tanteros, Chris Rouser, and Jamie Jasta.
Yes.
He's from Hatebreed, don't you know? Back to TV's Andy Levy for the postgame.
Thanks. Hey, Paul, what upcoming dates you got?
April 6th to the 10th, I'm going to be at the Funny Bone in Des Moines, Iowa. Come and check me out. And my jacket, the last time I was on, this jacket got a lot of grief, and now everyone is commenting about it, how either great it is or how it sucks. So I just want to say that this jacket has feelings. I've been inside it. And it's enjoyed it, and we should auction it off. Everybody sign it, and we could auction it off for a charity.
I think that's a good idea.
That is a
We'll all
wonderful
sign it,
idea.
and you can figure out what charity you want, and we'll get that going next week.
Okay.
I think that's a stupid idea. Hey, Dana, another night before the iridescent lens, the mouth crafting of national myth, the unraveling of a story whose awful terminus is all too obvious.
All of just talking as around ancient campfires, escaping into one another, telling stories to distract from the dark and nearing howlings.
Dana, once my uncle, a hunch simple man, gave me an old belt of his to play with as a whip. Does that count as love?
I'd say it does, Andy. I'd say it does.
Jill, how's your bracket coming along?
Good. Yeah, I have no idea what you guys are talking about, but my bracket's good. I'm keeping an eye on Jimmer Fredette, and of course, I'm expecting Coach K to take it all the way.
All right, back to you, Greg.
I think that's the end of our show. And it was a good show, I think. I'm Greg Gutfeld. Over here. There I am. Goodbye.